Hey there, welcome to this tutorial series on modeling an AR-15 rifle in Blender. I am your host Fazal Wahab and I will be guiding you through this project from start to finish. In this series we will be covering everything from basic modeling techniques to advanced tools like Boolean operations, retopology and texturing. By the end of this tutorial, you will have a fully modeled game-ready AR-15 rifle. Whether you are a beginner or an experienced Blender user, this tutorial is designed to help you improve your skill, give you an idea of how to model a specific object in Blender, and to learn new techniques. Before we dive into modeling, let's talk about the tools interface and built-in add-ons that we will use throughout this tutorial. When you first open Blender, this is the splash screen. I'm using Blender 3.6.9. If you are using either the latest or oldest, it's totally fine because all versions are nearly same. So open a general file and first we will enable the built-in add-ons. The add-ons we will need are the bool tool and the loop tool. You can enable it by going to Edit, Preferences, Add-ons. Here in the search menu, search for these two and enable them and save the preferences. Now let's take a quick look at Blender's navigation and tools. If you are new to Blender, this will help you get familiar with the interface, and if you know about tools and navigation, just skip this portion. First, let's talk about navigation. Blender uses a 3D viewport which can be navigated using the mouse and keyboard. Here are some essential shortcuts to get you started. You can zoom with the mouse wheel, pan with middle mouse button or shift alt left mouse button, orbit around an object with the middle mouse button or alt plus left mouse button. You can go to front view by numpad 1, you can go to side view by numpad 3, you can go to top view by numpad 7, and you can go to the opposite sides like the back side, the bottom side by using the shift and that corresponding key. You can switch between orthographic and perspective by numpad key 5. Now let's take a quick look at some of the basic tools we will be using in this tutorial. You can select an object with the right click. You can move an object using the G key. You can also move on a specific axis like X, Y and Z, and also you can move on two axes as well. If you want to move on one axis, just press G, then X or Y or Z, whatever you want. And if you want to move on two axes without moving on one axis, you can simply press Shift plus that axis you want to exclude, like Shift plus Z will move on Y and X and not on Z. You can scale an object by pressing the S key. You can scale on a specific axis or can scale freely. You can rotate on a specific axis or two axes or freely by pressing the R key. You can switch between edit and object mode by tap. In edit mode we will use vertex select mode, which shortcut key is 1, edge select mode by 2 and paste select mode by 3. These are the buttons available on the first row of the keyboard, not the keys on the numpad. We will switch between pivot point as 3D cursor or individual origin. The pi mean you appear by pressing the period key and hovering the mouse over that. We will switch between solo and group mode by pressing the /forward key. These are just few of the many tools and shortcuts available in Blender. As we progress through the tutorial, I'll be sharing more tips and tricks to help you work more efficiently. Now that we have covered the basics, let's get started with modeling our AR-15 rifle. In the next video, we will be modeling the muzzle and barrel. All the keys I am pressing will be shown in the bottom of the screen.